Okay, so let's do this. I don't really want to do this, so we're going to do this. Basically, I posted on my main profile that I had speculations about Elon Musk because of the amount of violence that he is allowing to be shown and promoted. And we're talking about promoted. We're talking about accounts that many of us don't subscribe to. Okay, so we're seeing acts of murder. So if I show you on YouTube, okay, AI will pick up on it and people won't see it. It'll be marked for adult, but it just won't be seen. Okay, but on Twitter, now called X, these videos just play automatically. Do you understand? So there are people defending Elon Musk. They're basically under some form of mind control. Here we go. And this is sad. People say he's broadcasting the truth. And on one level, right, this did happen. This occurrence did happen. And this guy got shot. But in reality, these are snuff films. And there's variants of it. We see a lot of craziness around the world. And it could also lead people to think that people around the world are really crazy and unstable. And we could see just a lot of violence in general. There's a lot of different examples of violence that I've seen. And a person cannot unsee something once they've seen it and unhear something. So there's a positive and a negative application of that. So this just looks like some nightclub scene, maybe a bouncer here, probably in Europe. Who knows where this is? You know, he's getting close to him. He's dancing. Then he gets pushed, and people are amused by this. People really enjoy this, and a very hard palm to the face. The video that I was discussing earlier was that I saw earlier this week was look at Portland, Oregon here. This is 40th. 40th used to be a really nice part of Portland, and it looks really bad. I haven't been there since 2015, so it's now been 9 years. So yeah, this is the 40-something in Hawthorne, or is this 30-something? That used to be a really nice futon store. There was never any spray paint 15 years ago, right there at that corner. And there used to be a coffee shop coming up right there where that tent is. Right here, there used to be a cafe. So a lot of that is run down. Okay. So we went from having a nice city before it was popular. Nice city, wasn't perfect, has a shady past. There's a nice energy to Portland. There still might be a nice energy to Portland, but there's chaos there. There are people getting shot there. So what I'm noticing with Elon Musk, every time I get on it, and there is a lot of news, you can see, and there's a lot of silly videos and whatnot. But I want to show you this just so you can see just what I'm talking about here. Okay, I'm just going to keep scrolling down here. Um, there's videos of somebody pulling out a gun and then a guy, basically disarming him and then shooting him. So a lot of real death videos. Real life faces of death. Let's see. I'm gonna check and see if I have audio on. We do have audio. We do have audio. I'm also going down memory lane tonight and watching Brain Smasher: A Love Story, which is made in 1992. Maybe I'll show you something lighthearted after we look at this. I don't just want to talk about Elon Musk and the violence being shown. We'll take a look at some of these other things. But here, delivered into hell. Here's what catches my attention. Babies are being delivered into hell, with many dying. This is sad. I've suspected also, though, that hateful people in this world may come back in the form of that which they have dehumanized. There's nothing spiritual about hate. and hatred. As far as hateful people and the conspiracy theory movement, a lot of them hanging together. Bad folks hanging together. Yeah, so the U.S. under Biden, they talk about the U.S. soldiers that gave their lives, but not the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. So we see a lot of disturbing videos. Here we have fights here in Germany. You know, I am thinking about an Amazon wish list for people that may want to donate to help me get prepared. I'm getting more serious about that. I think that people do need to be prepared by April. So here's what I'm talking about, and this isn't this is more of a silly one here, but it goes from that to this is another sad video. When I lived off grid, I had a water container like that I spent $150 for. Never ended up actually using it. A homeless child in Gaza tries to get some water. Yeah, so it wasn't a guest on Patrick Day. What? You never know what you're going to see. Now, they haven't got to the point where they're streaming porn. But when I was speculating about a future dystopian America where there are videos streaming out of America of Americans being tortured, you know, I worry about things like that. And some people, one person commented, said, oh, man, go outside and touch some grass. As if I don't meditate. As if I don't touch grass. As if touching grass and meditating is about not having a perception or an intuition about the future, okay? Only a crazy person would think that this stuff's okay. Only a crazy person would think that things haven't been progressing for the worse, and that it's always been this way. And that there's no point trying to awaken people to the evils of this world, you know, because a lot of people, they're down with the evil of this world. They don't want people to be awakened to it. They don't like videos like this. They don't like this message. They don't like the light. They dislike the light. Dislike. They dislike the light. And that's the problem right now with a lot of people on this planet. They dislike life and they love death. And we are living here alongside them. And there is no going anywhere. There is no running anywhere. So this might be the first night that in weeks or months that we've taken some time to go through what's being shown on Twitter. And I'm telling you, even though this is horrible and we need to be aware of it and not necessarily become desensitized to it, we got to ask ourselves, what role is Elon Musk really playing in all this by showing the genocide being televised? What is this? I've seen.
Yo, chill, son.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, see? Huh. Was it a snuff film?
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's
Okay. So as far as the violence is concerned, because a lot of people like retorted to me and said, no, Elon Musk, he doesn't control this. It's just an accident. No, it's not an accident when you're scrolling through the area when you're scrolling through the feed and it just starts showing you a bunch of people wailing on somebody, or like a prison situation where people are beating a guy to death, for example. This says dude shoots girl after she breaks up with him. So I'm moving quickly so this doesn't get flagged by YouTube. You see, like, you understand? Like, you understand? Some of you understand. We have rules in our society. Certain stuff doesn't get shown on TV. There's reasons why they don't show stuff on TV. Well, while this may not be the TV, look at this. Look at this. Here. See you. Snapshot. Screenshot document on this day in history. This was coming out of the For You tab. Okay. So yeah, this video had to be made. I don't know how long I'm going to go tonight. I'm feeling pretty high energy, but wow, man. Let me just lighten the mood up. What do you think's going to look best on me out of these shirts? What do you like? I am considering, some of these are just too much. Too much. I'm thinking about an Amazon wish list. You understand? So people, if they want to help, they can ship in, but there's no pressure. But from the donations that are coming in, I am purchasing a few things. Brain Smasher, a love story. Okay, my friend, the A-Man, was an extra in this film. It was filmed in 1992 in Portland, Oregon. That's Portland, Oregon, USA. He was kind of somewhat of a father figure to me, although he was really busy working a lot, you know, at nightclubs and at a hotel and at a sports stadium. And I wish him well. I haven't seen him in years. He actually, you don't really see him in this movie much, but he does a stunt for Andrew Dice Clay. He jumps off of a building onto the max, but he shows up right here. Not there. That's the A-Man. This guy single-handedly worked at some serious nightclubs back in the day, had a lot of interesting stories, lived throughout the 70s and 80s and 90s, and the modern day in Portland, Oregon has seen a lot of interesting things. And this is him, 1992, Brain Smasher, a love story. This is the Old Mary's strip club. I think that they moved it. They moved it to 6th and Burnside. Not that I've seen the new location. Haven't been there in 10 years. But I keep up to date with going-ons in Portland. And as we just saw on a video here from Twitter, things are looking really, really crazy. And then so basically people are saying this is normal, that Elon Musk has nothing to do with this. Listen, these people, in my opinion, are low intelligence, because I've been on Twitter for years, okay, now called X. Well, I'll call it whatever I want. It says Twitter up here, so therefore it still is called Twitter. So Elon Musk could set in the controls if he wanted to, to make sure that these things weren't playing. Let me give you another example. There's a video of a white woman being grabbed by the throat at a convenience store and being violently mangled. And who knows what she did, but basically there's no context to the video. And then the next video that follows it is another white woman being attacked by a black person. And then you see videos of white people attacking black people. It's as I said several days ago. You were seeing videos of, say, whites attacking blacks and blacks attacking whites. And so that's going to be something that provokes some people that are low intelligence. Now, they may be showing more of this type of content in certain areas in North America. Okay? Depending on where you are. I'm not really sure. But I just want you to see some of this. That's enough of that image. And then we have this guy. This guy's promoted by the algorithm. There's a number of guys that people have listened to in addition to my content. Ryan Dawson is one of them. But not all Muslims are retaliating against what is happening. Some are still going about their lives, but they really are trying to provoke those aspects of the Islamic world that might respond. Because if one group is seen as having a right to self-defense, another group will exercise their right to self-defense. Okay? Whether or not people agree with their perceived right to self-defense or not doesn't matter. That's just the way the world works. So if people want to see less violence in the world, they should, try to see a curtailment of the violence that's being dished out to begin with, the preemptive violence and atrocities. No, I don't like at all what's being done to the Palestinians, nor Afghanistan and Iraq, and Israel's played a role also in foreign policy. Sirens in Tel Aviv, Hamas firing rockets at us with the aim of killing civilians. Another war crime by Hamas. This is another example, like I said, of Elon Musk playing both sides. So it seems to be like a big free speech haven, X. But is it really free speech for all this violence that we haven't been exposed to? Now for people to see like a great deal of violence and extreme violence, life-threatening violence in a lot of it in a short time. Stuff that you normally don't see. I mean, usually there's like an R rating. Usually kids used to have to be accompanied by a parent to get into certain movies. Now all they need to have is a cell phone. And a lot of kids are going to have a cell phone now, and they're going to be looking at their cell phone because their parents are going to put a cell phone in their hand because their parents don't want them to get kidnapped. Makes sense. You want your kids to be safe, So, what's this? Fires a gun at his stepson during an altercation with what the is. Like I said, it's like borderline pornographic where we're at right now. What does your feed look like? Everybody has access to this free software. That's also the amazing thing here, right? Dear. Wow. What is he shot? And then he's just. Oh. You see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't an accident. Like, if somebody thinks that this is an accident, they have a really low IQ. They just don't think very well. A lot of videos with a slapping. Also, yes, I noticed a rise in the last couple of years with these slap videos. Right, looks like people are in these competitions. Right, this modern day dystopian over the top, where instead of arm wrestling, like some 1980s movie with Stallone, instead of like doing some nice old arm wrestling in Vegas, they're like slapping each other in the face. And that can cause some brain damage. Crazy Clips is one of these channels. And so I'm not subscribed to it, but it's automatically going. I bet there's a lot of harassment of women in some of these areas. And that's basically what this video is showing also. See, Yeah, people basically treat me like there's something wrong with the fact that I've tried to. Now, what is this? What are we looking at?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll tell you what you wanna hear. Keep my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna lay on to you once more, yeah. I'm gonna lay on to you there, yeah, yeah. I'm unstoppable. I'm a virgin with your face. I'm invincible.
I don't know, man. This is just.
نتنياهو خلف على الشهداء 3 من الأبناء سيفجرون رأسك يا ابن الكلب.
Yeah, so it appears that the death rate, the murder rate of the people in Gaza is at a more extreme rate than in Pakistan, rather Afghanistan and Iraq. They've killed a lot of people in Afghanistan they haven't counted, but the rate that they are doing this is faster, and it's all under the guise of taking out Hamas, very reminiscent of 9/11 with their October 7th official story. This is basically the situation humanity is in. Although humanity is wasting time under the ice, it doesn't realize that time is running out. So, right? There's many aspects of humanity drugged up. And yet marijuana is illegal at the federal level, which basically, as far as I'm concerned, should be a sin. Mm-hmm. Yep. What- Yeah, I didn't ask that to pop up, but it popped up, but whatever. I was watching this earlier. These tigers fighting. That was interesting. And I'm like, wait a minute, I was just looking at tiger shirts. This one right here. This one comes from China. Mm-hmm. There's a couple other interesting ones. A lot of this stuff, though, with the tiger and the dragon is almost too flashy. You know, a lot of the shirts that are sold nowadays, I just don't want to wear. And pants and clothing. Really, it's just a bunch of crap. Freeze dried food, survival, preparedness. Let's do some shopping. Let's do some shopping. Yes. Ah, it's got a flash drive. I should put a lot of my content on a flash drive. That would be good. Yeah, I'm almost overwhelmed doing all the prepping and whatnot. You know what? Just whatever's gonna have some food, have some water. That's important. I have a big gallon drum thing. I have a life straw, and I got to fill it up with water. Purchased it, so the price has gone up with some of this stuff. Just purchased some ginseng, okay, for those days I don't drink my coffee. and a little bit of freeze-dried food. And then there's a company called Azure Standard. Okay. And they are in Oregon. They are in Oregon. That's right. Another day, perhaps we'll look at their catalog and something to that effect. Take a look at what they have for sale. I've recommended quinoa for years, but a lot of people don't like quinoa. Okay. I think that it goes good with meat. It's healthier than rice. But for some, they may prefer rice. Just depends. A lot of books. I've just had so much stuff that I've prepared with. But, not like a whole, bunkers full, but stuff. As well as a photo album. I sent a letter to a guy named Alex in Portland. This looks interesting. He was supposed to watch my stuff all these years. And I even had a taped interview with my grandmother, Ruth. And she told me a little bit about my ancestry on my mother's side. And I don't remember everything that she said. Talked about the Welch background and some other things, and maybe a little bit about her family and her life. And that and those other things were in the cabin. So I haven't heard from him. So those items are probably gone, and that would be the second time that people have thrown away my photo album. So even though I've spent years, folks, sharing information, I've lost a lot of my own personal things and podcasts and personal investments, like money I spent on that land, only to later on have to move away from that land. So yeah, it feels more than a little awkward, feeling like I got to get prepared and get stuff after I've already purchased stuff, including land, including an RV, including a shed, including water containers, including propane containers, including, a stove in Bagosa that I bought that never even got installed in the actual shed itself. Would you like to know more? Okay. In 2010, in that same time period in which Clyde Lewis had me on his show to basically make me look like the bad guy for confronting Antifa in Portland, Oregon, at that time known as the Black Bloc, making me look bad for calling them agent provocateurs, as if I went too far, bringing me on his show and then bringing on those Antifa members that later were seen in Portland destroying property, featured on CNN. Some of the same people that called into that show that Clyde brought on to argue with me were later featured. On the show, challenging me. And then I got phone calls at the Portland Preparedness Center and people hanging up. But it could have been viewers that just didn't like me, or it could have been the Antifa folk. I'll never know. There were other things that I can discuss that Clyde did that I thought were a little above and beyond, that seemed to indicate that, frankly, the dude seemed to resent me being in Portland. And, I think this is the first time that I'm actually airing this. Frankly, I felt that, some people have an attitude, and this shouldn't surprise some of you. Some people have an attitude of this town is only big enough for one of us, so to speak. Not big enough for the both of us. So there is this type of innate territorialism when it comes to, somebody being number one at something. So some people, they put that before friendship. And you might think you're friends with certain people for years. When you hang out with people and have beer with people, or share a bowl with people, or share some food with people, or maybe do a joint podcast, you might think that you're cool with them. But in reality, some people are a little too self-interested. It's okay to be interested in your own platform and want to grow it, and and want to see yourself succeed. But with some of these individuals, a lot of these individuals, the truthfulness to some of their broadcasts is not very high. And especially now compared to, say, maybe where they were a long time ago. And it's really, really sad. Many people used to talk about things years ago when it was popular and okay to care about innocent people that were being murdered and destroyed by the system. And now they pulled out of certain countries. And now, conveniently, the Taliban is back in power. Now people are angry at those people because of immigration. So there actually is no remorse in this country regarding what's been done. And who's there in the conspiracy movement to say, hey, hey, folks, remember what you've done is wrong. It's Clyde Lewis that on Access TV in 2005 got loud and said, hey, they're releasing depleted uranium. So people sometimes will talk about that stuff when it's convenient for them to give a fuck. I'm not doing Access TV right now in this video. I'll try not to cuss as much when I do those. But this is just for YouTube. You know, a lot of people don't care, and especially now. And they don't realize that is the conspiracy. That is the conspiracy through weaponized immigration, although when other people use that term, they mean it in a different way. Okay, so a lot of people just simply do not have compassion. Let's contemplate this retweet over here. Some art here that I found. You know, in this lifetime, I've been so focused on surviving and being a philosopher and sharing my ideas that I haven't had time to learn an instrument, and I wanted to when I was young. I want to learn how to draw comic books when I was young. I want to learn different forms of art. I want to learn how to play the electric guitar. I want to see Europe. I want to see my father's country. And with the things being the way that they are in recent years, I have not had dreams for anything as far as this future is concerned. Hey, look at that. 2424 posts. That's 66. Means I'm doing too many recordings. Time to restore balance. So, again, the eclipse is when a lot of the stuff kicked off, and then we saw the attacks on Yemen in between the eclipses, and so we'll see another event in April 2024. I've got a couple of new books coming, okay, that relate to the sun, solar maximum and solar minimum. I did a retweet. Here it is. But first, China decided to deploy a large number of warships around Taiwan. So something's heating up there. Although we've seen a lot of headlines like that in the last year, as far as Taiwan and Chinese fighter jets flying over Taiwan or around Taiwan. And there's another article, too, about them simulating attacks on the U.S. Navy. You know, I sensed one day we'd wake up and see things like this on a regular basis, and then people getting into their nationalistic box. And so Trump's going to ride in as the perceived savior to this mess down at the border that may be manufactured along with these other manufactured crises. People think there's a big difference between Biden and Trump, right? That is only for public distribution. That is only for the masses. That's not the truth. Okay. And I can't tell you anybody out there that's doing anything to help the people starving in some of these countries. You have a lot of people out there that seem like they're carrying on the progressive left, and yet they're still connected to the war machine. Human beings that are alive today, people that say they're pro-life, a lot of them don't care about them. And because of the actions of some terrorists, a lot of people out there are marginalized. And there are people out there that marginalize. But they don't want it done to them. So yeah, we're going to see a lot more happening this year as the election gets closer and closer and closer. I've made a couple predictions regarding those things. I've discussed those things on video. So ranging from human trafficking to predictions that I've made in the past regarding suicides. There's just this sense of hopelessness. I was also noting, like, not just in Portland where I'm from, but also other places in America and certainly around the world, not just America. Just imagine how hopeless it must be to be a teenager. Okay. Now, I made some mistakes when I was 19, 20, 21, when I was living all alone in Portland, Oregon during those dark ages, but things had not yet become as screwed up as they are now. So I was able to get a job in downtown Portland as a busboy before downtown Portland went to shit. I started an Access TV show, and I made as many shows as possible. And as I said, many, many, many years of Patriot Radio, when all those episodes are gone, but hopefully it wasn't completely in vain. Seems like some people still remember me from some of those broadcasts, yet I don't really hear often from the people in Portland, Oregon, and I hope that changes in time. But I definitely put a lot of effort into this content. And I'm now 44, coming up in 1 month. I'll be 44, the big 4-4. In 2024, the year of the dragon. Some of these are pretty pricey, as you can see, plus shipping. This is nice. That's definitely overpriced, but I'm not sure why it's overpriced. Might be because it comes all the way from Japan. But I am looking for something like this right now. I actually picked up a poster of the sun, of the solar system, really, for $10. This is nice.
Such a wonderful, beautiful woman. I mean, just an amazing woman.
So we're going to look at the YouTube shorts, and as people can see, I was correct, right? And people are for this, but you got to be honest. Just tell the truth. Don't lie, just tell the truth. Go ahead, hit the dislike button, just tell the truth. As you hit the dislike button, just tell the truth. This is YouTube. It's going to promote videos that promote Trump. This is YouTube. This is YouTube. It's going to promote videos that promote Trump. This is YouTube. Okay? It is partisan. It is pushing an agenda. And I was right in 2016 when I predicted that Trump was the selection. Okay? That is, that these politicians are selected. They are not elected. Now take a look at this. I want you to see this.
Now, he's supposed to look like Donald Trump, but he's actually much too good looking. You are really handsome.
What comes to mind? How many times has there been a caricature of a politician that kisses the baby? How many times have people laughed about that, how that's what corrupt politicians do? They kiss the baby. But in this case, right, hey, it's Trump. Everybody loves it. Here's the algorithm on YouTube. I just talked about Twitter and their algorithm. Now we're on YouTube. And all these channels that I don't subscribe to with these different messages in this mind-controlled reality. These are just different little snippets here and there. Oh, look at this. 3.6 million people like this. Here, let's give it another like. Yeah, I really like this. Or how about I dislike? How about I'm not even going to dislike it? Because I'm not under some sort of mind control that my little dislike's going to stop the video. The video is going to continue. Okay? The mind control is going to continue. There's not going to be a collective ascension or wake up. Okay? And this guy is positioned to take us somewhere, just as Biden was positioned to take us where he took us. They're all in on it together. So let's take a look at this creepy, creepy video.
Are you having a good time tonight?
No.
Where's your daddy? And your mommy, right?
Ro, do you want to go back?
Do you want to go back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
There you go. Isn't that just a beautiful face there? Just ridiculous. You know, amazing stuff. And then we go over here. Look at this. We're just gonna I don't like how this just plays like this. Just this.
What's your...
We have stereotypes for a reason.
We have stereotypes for a reason. Okay, here we have the conservative twins. Okay, very popular, wearing their 1776 virtual signaling for the right wing ball cap on, playing up that supposed tough guy for the right wing role. I'm so tired of seeing these individuals for years on YouTube. So here they are on this short. We have stereotypes for a reason. Months ago, I was discussing YouTube promoting white nationalist Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes goes on a black YouTube channel because the dumbed down masses, a lot of them, oh, they're not white nationalists. They're going on a black YouTube channel. And the modern neo-Nazis, they are totally down with black tokens and black people that are willing to serve them. See?
I get $1,000.
The software is under mind control.
Do you sell those here?
Okay.
Your country has turned into.
Why is he wearing a mask?
Neither do we. Anyone
Like Kanye West on the Alex Jones show.
And you know what happens? Nothing. We can even leave our wallet.
He's trying to dupe me into going overseas.
Remember and come back. It's still sitting in the exact same place. And on top of that, the cost of living is.
He's so comfortable in Bali leaving his wallet for 3 hours. Why don't you take a mask off?
There is an impulse to hold on to things that you're familiar with. But I promise you, if you're willing to let go of familiarity, places like Singapore, Kuala Lumpur,
Singapore.
These places are the future, if for no other reason because the people in these places are kind and they are happy.
I'm afraid this guy's gonna pull out a samurai sword and cut my head off. Okay, let's go to the conservative twins.
We have
Look at this.
stereotypes for a reason. They don't even cover their face.
Yeah. Okay, we have stereotypes for a reason. Let's watch something good.
This is related to the energy world, and that they don't have to make a portal. They merely exist within a realm that they step right into this realm. They don't have to make a very complicated device. As a matter of fact, they've already made the devices. So when we don't understand energy, we don't understand sickness. We don't understand anything that's affecting our spiritual being and physical being. Because you're governed by your spiritual energy, just like a mechanical device. This can be the best car, but if the engine is bad and the fuel is bad, what you going to do with a car that doesn't move? And we described before that at every moment.
So that guy's something else, man. I don't see anybody like him. He talks about some deep stuff that I do not see other people in his. Well, it's not just the stuff that he. It's obviously the editing that he does and the music.
So Friday,
what he's saying.
So Friday the 13th is then a very superior holiday. And it's carrying a tajalli of Jomma and a secret of the Mim. And that's why Shaitan is so fearful of that, and he propagated and taught that so that to keep that tajalli away. So he inspired all these people to build buildings with no 13th floor, because he knows sacred geometry, he knows this sacred numerology, and he knows the power and the danger that they face by it. So in their buildings they don't have 13 because of their superstitions. And they put into the movies that, oh, Friday 13th and horror for shaitans, but not horror for Ahlul Rahman.
Interesting. I've heard this before.
This is the most insulting display of masculinity I've ever seen. For a second, ladies, I want you to imagine this being your man. He's supposed to protect you. Estrogen. Homeboy in the red, double the estrogen. How could you be so bad at being a man? This is the most insulting display of masculinity I've ever seen. For a second, ladies, I want you to imagine this being your man. He's
91-year-old man, Paul, decided to stop by a roadside diner for a meal. He quietly went about his business, enjoying his apple pie and coffee, bothering no one. However, a group of 3 bikers entered the diner. The old man glanced up as they arrived, but simply returned to enjoying his apple pie and coffee. He just wanted to savor his meal in peace, but the bikers had other ideas in mind. After surveying the place and assuming the old man was the most vulnerable there, one of the bikers approached him. Without a word, he extinguished his cigarette in the old man's apple pie. Then the second biker approached the old man's table, said nothing, and spat in his coffee. It was disgusting and left the old man with nothing to eat or drink. The third biker walked up to the old man and smashed his plate on the floor. As the glass shattered, the biker burst into laughter and rejoined his group. However, the old man remained calm throughout the ordeal. He wasn't disturbed, wasn't scared. Like and share this video to find out what happened next in part.
Thousands of people are melting down after this UFC middleweight champion.
What's your name? Do you mind me asking?
Let them have they say it's okay.
Give me a fucking gun, I'll shoot you, son of a bitch.
No, it's okay.
It ain't okay. Anybody that holds a sign up against our president is what it says.
Get ready for it.
And I'm not afraid of any one of them. If I had a gun here now, I'd wipe them all out.
Okay. So, is this channel glamorizing that type of attitude?
Give me a fucking gun, I'll shoot you, son of a bitch.
No, it's okay.
It ain't okay. Anybody that holds a sign up against our president is what it says.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not afraid of any one of them. If I had a gun here now, I'd wipe them all out.
This is the guy that was on with Nick Fuentes. Is it Sneeko?
Let them have they say it's okay.
Give me a fucking gun, I'll shoot you, son of a bitch.
Anyway, the Google algorithm is promoting a network of people.
Get ready for it.
And I'm not afraid of any one of them. If I had a gun here now, I'd wipe them all out.
What's the difference between a Chinese wife and a Japanese wife? Which one should I marry? Don't worry, honey. Let me tell you. Chinese wife, after you marry her, no more makeup, no more dress up, no more BJs. It is over. She'll scream at you. She'll be loud, obnoxious, mean, and rude. When she make you lunch, you'll be like, lunch is ready, right? Japanese wife, after you marry her, she'll be perfect, beautiful, everything.
Okay.
Is a low IQ individual.
Yep, here we go. YouTube for Trump. It's YouTube for Trump. What, you dislike the fact that I'm not dumbed down? You dislike the fact that I'm aware that the mainstream is behind Trump? The mainstream is behind a billionaire. And people think this guy is going to save him. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist, but he's certainly in the Antichrist network. Okay.
So God gives it to us in the symbol of a circle, and that's why in our sacred geometry, the importance of the circle. So every point on the circumference has access to the center. But there can only be one center of power powering everything.
That's also a solar symbol.
There would be an immense battle. Can you imagine if there were multiple powers, then the sun was not going to rise? The orbit of the planet would not be in this orbit. So many of these different realities, there's a self-evident proof of everything. There can only be one center power, and that reaches to all the points of the circumference. And that's the importance of how to connect. So spiritual path is that you live your life on the circumference, and now you want to move towards the center. So it's not looking out, but looking in.
In case I don't see ya. Hit it now, go.
my God. It's just...
Did you use that $916 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes?
Of course I do. Of course I do. And so do all of her donors, or most of her donors. I know many of her donors. I absolutely used it, and so did Warren Buffett, and so did George Soros.
So everything here with regards to the Trump videos are pro-Trump videos.
Is getting money from. Now, if she had a problem, for 30 years she's been doing this.
And in the future, there'll be many dislikes if I leave this video up and put out there. Not that I'm wrong. They don't like the fact that I'm right. People dislike the truth. People dislike light. People dislike knowledge. People dislike documentation.
Taylor Swift could be the thing that
what
gets
is this
Joe Biden
shit?
elected. Back in September of 2023,
this guy's
Taylor
mask
Swift told her fans to sign up to vote. And as a result of that one Instagram...
Shut the...
Are you ready for some tough questions?
You're going to be fair.
I'm going to be fair.
Just be fair.
But you're okay with some tough questions?
No, I'm not.
You're not okay with tough questions?
I want him to be fair. You don't ask Biden tough questions.
You know, I didn't want to have this kind of angry...
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
Well, then you brought up a lot of subjects that...
Well, I said I'm going to ask you
inappropriately brought
tough
up.
questions.
They were inappropriately brought up, right from the beginning. No, your first question was, this is going to be tough questions.
Why?
You don't ask Joe Biden. I saw your interview with Joe, the interview with Joe Biden.
I never did a Joe
Biden. It was a
Biden
joke.
interview.
The interview, 60 Minutes. I see Joe Biden giving softball after softball.
Okay, but forget...
So that's 4 or 5 pro-Trump videos in a row. I'm just saying that's what they're promoting.
Give me a fucking gun, I'll shoot him.
Did you know that
America's one of the most corrupt countries. Look at this guy, President Biden, the biggest criminal I've ever seen. He's terrible, man. The reason I know that is because I'm a capitalist. Biden is a communist. So in 2020, Biden gets elected. He beats my friend Donald Trump, very good friend of mine. We're capitalists. But the communists...
Your friend is Donald Trump, and you're being featured on YouTube, and I'm really surprised. And someone's going to dislike this video because I'm not under mind control.
And the ignorant people...
Every single Italian I pissed off in the year 2023.
What the fuck? The guy has billions of dollars. He pulls out a couple 20s. They play some soft music, and it's like some holy moment because of paper.
Did you know in the film Rambo 3, director Peter McDonald revealed that during the filming of scenes featuring Rambo and Colonel
Yeah,
Trout
I was looking at Rambo 3 just recently, so it's taking some of the stuff that I've looked at, and it's inserting it there.
Do you remember Sai, the rarely viral Gandhi?
Saudi Arabia, very rich country. We defend them. We subsidize Saudi Arabia. They have nothing but cash. Right? We subsidize. And they buy a lot from us. $450 billion they bought. You know, you had people wanting to cut off Saudi Arabia. They bought $450 billion. I don't want to lose them.
No, I don't know if there's even any point in trying to reach out to supposed progressives, but...
And then we begin to identify all our characteristics in life, and then we ask people to think, who's sitting on the chair when we react? Is it my soul? Is it my ego? Is it my devil? Because everyone has an assigned devil to them, to test them, so that we can do our daily accounting. As a result of the daily accounting and muhasaba, taking an accounting of oneself and say who's sitting on the chair and these decisions I'm making, these issues I'm facing, being upset about this or being upset about that, then we can understand that is this a process of turning off or turning on? If it's for the soul, you're gonna turn off.
What's the difference between people who are actually rich and those who are?
I posted a joke about Israel because it was funny. And I got trolled on by this account whose profile picture was a Pokemon. So you know he's legit.
Do you know who this is? No, I'm not talking.
Jesus came, I saw the piles of clothes on the floor, and I saw the coming of Christ, which
I think we'll call it a day. Here's the last Trump video.
with an incurable illness.
Yeah, it's replaying the same shit. For this type of crap to be playing automatically, I would suggest that this is Mind Control 101. So, what is the agenda? This is one of the many reasons why the internet today is not safe for kids. And frankly, not really safe for a lot of adults either.
It's over now, bro. Chill. Try to sell Sammy's tablet. Yo, what's wrong?
Just begun.